Hi, this is the first time I'm going to make a simple tutorial for basics for alcohol-based markers. They all work the same way. Even the quality is not the same, but or the color shading is not the same, but they have the same basics. So whatever kind of colors you're using, you have to think about several things. The first is the shading itself, the light source, where's the light, where's the dark areas. You have to learn about the color wheel. So to make it easy, and how to start with choosing your colors, you have to start with testing the color you choose. For example, I have chosen two different shades of rose, and I'm not sure that they might work together. Maybe they are two close shades that when I color they would look the same. So I won't have the right effect of the shading that I am looking for. So start with two pens and test yourself. Practice, and you know yourself that you can add a third one. It might be lighter, like for example pale pink. I can add this one, or a darker color. It can be what color of what kind of color, doesn't matter, but darker or lighter, you'll learn with time. Just give yourself a chance. So let's see if they work together. I color and that get with the darker and see part of it and see, do they look like each other? Do they have the same shading? Yes, they work together. They can blend together this because they have the same tone. But for example, if I have another tone of pink, let's see, this one, this is another tone, this is more lively. I can see it. I guess you can. Check this one. Yes, they have another tone, so they don't work together in the same way, unless I want to change this one, because I can make those work together, like very light and very dark. So let's start with only two pens of that. This is an example. I'll give another example of blue before we start the shading. There's three colors of blue that I would like to shade together, but I have a little problem. When I start with the lighter, which looks fine, I want to blend it with a darker blue. They have the same tone, but the difference in shading is very, very high, which means that it will never look very gradiently. It doesn't work gradiently. You won't see it in the end a gradient color, because there's a very big gap between the colors. Instead, you can have a darker blue that might work with the lighter one. Those can work together. They are closer. If I want also a lighter color of blue, I can use a lighter blue, so I can test this one. This is another tone. They might not work together. That's why I always test my pens. A smart way to save your time, to save your colors by testing. Make a chart for yourself. You will learn with time. For example, I know that those colors work together. I write down that this one goes with this one, and I make a little bit coloring with this. Coloring it aside to show which color works with which color. With time, by adding this, you will realize that how many shades you can make. And in the future, when you want to color, you don't have to test anymore, because you have it all in a chart. You made it by yourself. let's start coloring with those ones. I have to make a circle, for example. I don't want to use this. Oh, it's a pen. This is Pro Marker's black one. And I'll make just a small circle to show how they work. Use the lighter first. Then color your shade places with your darker. Then come back with your lighter. The idea, if you have 10 pens together, 10 markers you want to color with, start with a lighter, go darker, 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 darker. Get back lighter, 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 lighter. This is how you color. They will blend perfectly. So, I start with a lighter this time. You can start with a darker. It will have another effect. I'll demonstrate that in another video. This is the lighter. Then I know that here should be darker. And I go back with the lighter and blend the colors together. Here I create a shade. You can see it's blanking, which means it's still wet. You have to wait a little bit to see if there is shading or not. Can you see the shading? I'm not sure. So this is it. That's it. This is simply, it works like that. Now if I have a flower, now I need to shade this one. I will all the same color. I will not choose at the moment. Sorry, I just kicked the camera. Okay, so let's start again with the lighter. I know that now I decided, since I made this, I decided that the light comes like this way. So I know that the upper part here is lighter. I'll mark them up. Here is light, here is light, here light, here light. I marked the areas that I want them to be totally light, and then I will start coloring each don't know what you call it, each one by itself. I don't go color all at one time, because once I get to the last one, the first one is already dried, so I won't have the perfect blending. So I know the area where it should be lighter. Cut with a darker, cut into circles, but I want to make some effects, so don't worry to make like that. So, and I cut back to my colors this way. So what I have is, it's darker here. In this color I can use a third one, which is darker, to mark this areas, to make it much darker than the rest of the blade. The petal, I guess, not sure. So I'll go to the other one with the lighter color. I go with the darker one. Sorry, my hand in the way. You can see I'm constantly changing the markers with dark and light to make the shading. I'm not actually, the light is not helping, so I'm not sure if you can see that. Maybe we need a third color to show it. Let's choose the third color, a darker color. I'm sure this one works. This one looks good. Let's see. No, it's not. No, actually I don't have the right darker. I can make you know, I shouldn't say that for the beginners, but using another color may awake the interest in the image. This is small details you can do. You can use that. You can do it. For example, they blend together on the edges, like in the end here on the edges, to create a real shade, like this one. See? And with the lightest, I get back. I like it better now. See? Let's do the other one. Just be careful not to overuse the darkest one, because we don't want to have a purple. We want just to make a shade for the rose colors. Get to the dark a little bit. And to blend. And some interesting shading. It works. Third petal. Did I say it right? Just note that all of it looks the same, since the light coming in this source, so this side is maybe darker, so I decided to make shades from two sides. And always rotate the paper in the way that you feel your hand moving, very easy to work with. Like you should be like relaxed when you color, not tensed with your hands. That's it. You're done. So I used those three colors to shade this flower, but I tested several colors before. Let's use those dark colors to make like what we should color now. Let's say square. If you have a square and you want to add interest to this square, I don't know which is lighter. Then this one is lighter. Let's do this. I don't want to color the whole. You can have another option if the tones are really close together, like the pens I'm holding. You can have part of it, and with the darker go like sweeping. So you're not going on each other, you're going side by side, like they get like this inside, and only this area gets blended. If you want to preserve the original shading between them. This is I didn't do in this color, this one, because I wanted to show how to blend colors together. And this is a very smart way to blend colors together too. You may consider it. So this is a short tutorial, and I hope I've said something that might be useful for you. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.